Hi there! It's Jenny from Quick Anime Recap, and today, we're recapping a romantic comedy anime called Don't Toy With Me Miss Nagatoro. So sit tight and enjoy the video. The anime opens after the end of classes. An introverted second-year high schooler named Naoto walked into the library expecting to find it empty, only to discover a group of 4 girls actually went there to chat. He tried to concentrate on his homework. However, after a girl from the group got closer to him in order to look for a book, he caused the pages of a manga he drew to fall on the floor. He is then mercilessly criticized by the girls until one of them got a text from a friend, prompting them all to go except for one, who introduced herself as a first-year student, thus calling him Senpai. The girl then called his character flat, making him cry, and she even comments his behavior as creepy. However, before she go home she wiped his tears away with her handkerchief. After returning home, the boy was hunted in his dream by the humiliations endured by that girl the previous day. The following afternoon, the girl approached him, thus he gave her back her handkerchief. However, she followed him inside the room, offering him to be his model as an apology for bullying him the previous day. The girl then teases him, promising to give him a prize if he made a good paint of her. After he finishes his sketch, the girl asks him to close his eyes and but it was just a prank. She then laughs at him for expecting a kiss, which caused him to cry again, prompting her to kindly wipe his tears once more. Later, walking back home together, she teases Senpai by asking him to go out with her, and then stating that no girl would ask him something similar for real. Then, seeing he didn't reacted, the girl asked him why he didn't get angry, pointing out she was really mean to him. However, Senpai remembered that he was bullied since early childhood, thus he is accustomed to it. After the girl suggested he actually has a crush on her, he admitted that despite finding her annoying, he doesn't dislike talking with her. Smiling, the girl told him to stop calling her Miss, and introduced herself as
Nagatoro って呼んでください。これからよろしくね、Senpai.
The next day, Nagatoro stormed into the art club room with an hula hoop, asking Senpai to join her by slipping in. However, as he bent down to try, he accidentally saw something, causing Nagatoro to blush and hit him with the hula hoop. On a stormy afternoon, Senpai ate some yakisoba alone, and then prepared to read an erotic manga he bought. Just then, Nagatoro entered the room, asking him to show her what he was reading, much to Senpai's embarrassment. After she managed to take it from his hands by force, she then accuses him to be a pervert. Senpai tried to justify himself, saying he was actually interested into reading the vampire story. Intrigued, Nagatoro read the manga, finding the story amusing and remarks that one of the character in the manga being similar to Senpai. However, Senpai says he is nothing like the character, causing Nagatoro to ask him to try giving her a bite to see if she's a vampire or not. Senpai weakly tried to protest, but she managed to easily pin him to the ground and she is stopped due to the smell of garlic in his breath. As Senpai tried to stand, she jumped again on top of him, causing her right hand to land on Senpai's. That evening, walking back home, Nagatoro asked Senpai if her touch excited him. As Senpai refused to answer, she grabbed his ribs with a mischievous smile. That night, Senpai thinking back what happened while reading the manga, making him blush. The following day, Nagatoro proposed Senpai to play a game of guess where the other person's nipples are. Senpai refused at first, so Nagatoro reveals a prize for winning. A special ticket allowing the one who possesses it to order the other to do anything he wanted. Nagatoro managed to win in her turn, and told Senpai that she would have kept the ticket. However, when it is Senpai's turn to play, Nagatoro receives a text message, and run away saying that she had forgotten about a date with her friends. Later, Senpai went to a restaurant to continue reading his manga. However, Nagatoro and one of her friends entered the place along with 2 boys. He watched from a distance, as the girl turned down both of them with a bored expression. She then scolded her friend for continuing to try setting her up with boys. Walking back home, Senpai contemplates why he is the only one Nagatoro bullied. Just then, Nagatoro appears, and started mocking his way of walking. The next day, Nagatoro offered Senpai to model for him, and after he refused, she began to strip down causing him to panic. However, she revealed that she was actually wearing a swimming suit. Caught in the middle of a storm while they were walking back home, Nagatoro and Senpai are forced to hide under a gazebo. There, she teases him not to look at her because her uniform is see-through. Remembering her previous prank, Senpai believes she was wearing swimsuit, and thus he looked at her, only to discover she was telling the truth. After a quick moment of embarrassment, Nagatoro started to tease Senpai again, calling him a pervert. But then, the storm got worse, causing Nagatoro to invite him to her house until the weather got better. At first the boy was quite nervous at the idea of meeting Nagatoro's family, however she reassured him that they weren't at home. She even gives Senpai some of her brother's clothes to change into, a towel to clean himself off, and even making some tea for them to drink in her room. Noticing how uncomfortable Senpai seemed, Nagatoro suggested to play one of her brother's video game. As they play, Senpai revealed to be far more skilled than her, triggering Nagatoro competitiveness, and prompting her to cheat several times by disturbing him while he is playing. In the evening, before going home, Senpai thanked Nagatoro for the afternoon, and she replied that they should did it again sometime. The following day Senpai walked in the school cafeteria to have his meal, however there were no tables left. Seeing him, Nagatoro invited him to sit at the table alongside her friends, Gamo-chan, Yoshi. Senpai decided to accept the invitation. As soon as he sat down, the two girls immediately started to ask if he was Nagatoro's boyfriend, prompting her to play along with it, and answer that they're going out. Intrigued yet a bit jealous, Nagatoro's friends started to mock and tease Senpai just like she usually do. But surprisingly, she stood up for him, causing Senpai to intervene, saying that he was not Nagatoro's boyfriend. Both Gamo-chan and Yoshi immediately burst out laughing at his statement, and admitting he's a funny guy. Later, Nagatoro asked Senpai why he never talked back to anyone that was trying to bully him, and then she proposed Senpai to fight back while she pretended to bully him. However, Nagatoro went too far when she insults Senpai's look and hairstyle, hurting his feelings. She tried to cheer him up, telling him to hit her shoulder to make a comeback. As Senpai did it, he accidentally hit Nagatoro's oppai. Both of them blushed for a moment, then Nagatoro broke the ice, complimenting him for finally able to fight back. That evening, Senpai washes his hands after having made an oil painting. Nagatoro then approached him on the faucet to wash her own hands after she spilled her juice. Nagatoro made some erotic remarks and then started to evilly stroke his hands to increase his discomfort until Senpai ran away. The following day, Senpai ate his lunch in the art club room alone, when Gamo-chan and Yoshi stormed in. After noticing Nagatoro wasn't there, they decided to toy with Senpai, offering him to touch Gamo-chan's oppai. Embarrassed, the boy refused but was stopped and constricted by Yoshi, who forced his right hand over Gamo-chan's oppai. But, Gamo-chan actually wore onbun underneath her shirt. Just then, Nagatoro entered the room, causing her friends to leave. Believing he actually touched Gamo-chan's oppai, Senpai quickly explained it was actually onbun, causing her to laughing it off. But she then stuffed a regular onbun and a premium one underneath her shirt, and telling him to try guess which one was the premium. While Senpai was doing it with his eyes closed, the premium onbun fell out. Thus when he moved his hand to check it, he's actually touching Nagatoro's oppai. Embarrassed, Nagatoro hit Senpai repeatedly, then they sat and ate their onbun in silence. On the following afternoon, Nagatoro dragged a sofa in the art club room, explaining that it allowed her to do many different poses as she intended to model for him. Then, noticing Senpai was watching the baseball team training outside of the window, especially its top star Hosokawa, Senpai notes he wanted to be complimented by others just like he does. Which Nagatoro tell him, he needs to compliment others in order for that to happen, thus she asks him to try and compliment her. Senpai then contemplates that he thought Nagatoro had a cute face, very beautiful slim legs and a good smell. However, he was too embarrassed to say those thoughts, so he simply said that her hair is very silky, and that he found her martial arts skills cool. This made Nagatoro blush a little. Later, Senpai tried very hard to start drawing Nagatoro, but she kept teasing him. After a while, she fall asleep. Watching how cute she seemed while sleeping, Senpai finally managed to do an accurate painting of her. Senpai felt proud of himself for finally managing to draw a female figure, however he then started to feel embarrassed, hoping Nagatoro never saw it, without realizing Nagatoro is right behind him. Nagatoro immediately asked him to close his eyes and get ready for his reward. Senpai did as commanded, so she actually kissed him on the lips, and asked,
Senpai, どんな味がします?
But it turns out, Senpai is just kissing a doll. Thanks for watching the video. Still want to watch more anime recap? Click the videos on the screen to watch more. And don't forget to subscribe to catch the latest upload. Bye!